Boomers get a lot of flack from the younger generations for apparently hating things, especially technology, that young people have embraced. But the things that boomers tend to hate rarely have anything to do with technology itself. Remember, boomers can often be credited with inventing the very technology that young people think the boomers hate. Rather, boomers hate the things that are simply more hassle, less efficient, more expensive, and less enjoyable than they were years ago. So, here are 10 things that boomers tend to hate, in no particular order, because they're all despised. And be sure to stick around for a surprise 11th item. Number 1, QR codes. QR, or quick response codes, are codes designed to help the user quickly access information or perform an action. Boomers hate them because they generally don't save much time since you have to pull out your phone, open the camera, focus on the code, and wait for your phone to respond. A simple website address for the truly curious is much simpler. Furthermore, for slightly savvy boomers, QR codes are recognized as a blatant violation of internet security since you don't know where that QR code might take you or what it's going to do. QR codes are especially despised when used to access restaurant menus. People go to restaurants to have nice people prepare and serve them good food in a nice setting, then clean up after them. That's the whole point of the price and a tip. Number 2, kiosk ordering. Similar to QR codes in restaurants, accessing services via kiosk is equally, if not more, hated by boomers. Kiosks represent the pinnacle of service laziness, and universally poor user interface design makes them even more frustrating and generally useless. Kiosks also represent to boomers the management's penny-pinching attitude and disrespect of employees, as management can hire fewer employees who then have to work harder directing customers to use the kiosk and then assisting the same customer when the kiosk doesn't provide the necessary service. In addition, most of the time, the kiosks are out of order anyway. Number 3, online ticket purchases. Despite the annoying requirement to purchase online tickets for nearly every movie and event these days, the universal hatred of this process stems nearly exclusively from the criminal fees added to the price of the ticket, simply for the privilege of attending the event. Number 4, parking apps. Paying for parking is annoying enough, but yet another app clogging up the phone makes it even more annoying. However, boomers hate parking apps because they generally drive up the actual cost of parking and tack on a service fee to boot. Number 5, Internet connect everything. Does anyone really need their toaster connected to the internet, or the news stream to their refrigerator, or even a video display of the inside of their refrigerator? Okay, a video stream of your refrigerator to your phone when you're on your way home from work and picking up a few items at the store may actually be useful. But aren't you already working from home? Just make a list. Seriously, for most people, the everything internet connected world just isn't that valuable. It is often a serious hassle to maintain and can present a security risk as an open window to your network for hackers. And what happens when the network is down? Number 6, an app for everything. While many apps and/or corresponding websites are very useful tools, many simply represent some businesses' imaginary need to have an app since everyone else has an app. The most egregious and hated by boomers is the medical doctor app, or website, or despised kiosk, in which the 80-plus-year-old patient is required to sign in and answer a few simple questions, usually a full medical history, at every appointment. Not only is the user interface usually atrocious, confusing, and buggy, but for anyone other than a new patient, all that information should already be in the medical office records. Even if the senior patient is technically savvy, not everyone has the eyesight and dexterity to deal with an app like that. Number 7, online pre-check-in and out. Nearly every hotel and some other businesses seem to want you to click a link, scan a code, access a website, etc. to check in and out. The side management's obvious desire to hire less people to actually provide service to the customer. The whole online check-in and out process rarely saves the user or the business any time and effort. Furthermore, clicking links in texts and emails is universally frowned upon as a security risk, and depending on the business, customers usually still have to go to a front desk and pick up keys, maps, or instructions, as well as sign off on disclaimers and rules. In addition, many vacation destinations have poor cell phone coverage, and the process fails to work altogether. Number 8. Bad TV and movie dialogue volume and sound. This issue appears to be universally hated by all, and not just boomers. Poor dialogue sound makes it difficult for anyone to hear what's going on in the story. The viewer can turn on the captions, but that requires more effort to read the dialogue, distracts from the video, and often blocks what the viewer should be seeing. Poor sound effects and music can also muddle the scene. Sorry, but not everyone has theater quality sound in their home. Number 9. Bad TV and movie lighting. This too is universally hated. The video should be visible. Hey, filmmakers, don't make everything so dark and moody that no one can actually see what is going on in the scene. It can be argued that dark scenes add an ambience and excitement to a scene. This is very true for the right scene, but so many filmmakers appear to use it as a disguise for poor sets and special effects. Please give us a visible scene and good sound. Number 10. Automated phone menus or interactive voice response systems. Boomers may just hate these the most as they probably have been around the longest. While most of these automated menus are annoying, especially in an actual crisis, the most hated aspect of these systems is the endless round robin resulting in a disconnect or a return to the top menu. While there are alleged tricks to get a connection to a live person, they often do not work. And now for the bonus boomer hated item. Number 11. The word itself. Boomer. Or rather being called a boomer by a young person with a voice of prejudicial contempt, that boomers are ignorant and the cause of all the world's problems. Boomers don't hate the word boomer itself, it's just a generational label. But when used as an insult, it actually reflects more about the prejudice and ignorance of the insulter, rather than the boomer's perceived shortcomings. For example, boomers are blamed for all the world's current problems, but like any generation, they work within the world that is presented to them from the previous generations and try to make it their own. Boomers inherited the post-World War II world and built upon the conditions that existed. In fact, boomers invented much of the technology young people take for granted today. And like any generation, younger people are building on those inventions. Some boomers keep up with new technology, and some fall behind. It happens with the changes of any generation. Older horse and buggy owners took longer to adopt the new automobile than younger people. Young people should put those prejudices aside and recognize that generational change is simply a condition of humanity. And in that regard, young people should seriously study history and work hard not to repeat the bad history. The best way to do this is to get out and vote. Elect young people who won't repeat the problems of the past. Instead, we appear to be returning the old boomers that are drawing from the past, rather than looking to a brighter future.